How's it going, folks? I'm Matthew. This is Lemora's Cards, and today, as always, we're doing something a little bit different. Recording this right before I go to the Boil this weekend, which is a event ran by Eminence that is going to be at CCS, and this is the deck I'm going to be playing. Now, you've probably heard me talk about Tymna Kraum and, Grixis Plus decks that I enjoy, blah, blah, blah. And maybe you've heard about my obsession with this beautiful frame, Future Shifted from Future Sight. Something about Japanese Magic cards, and especially in this frame, just does it for me. I don't know what it is, but yeah. So today, as quick as I can do it, I'm going to showcase this deck list, which I think is just a good blue farm deck list. If you're looking one to try out, I've enjoyed it. Played exactly 50 prep games on this list going into the Boil. 27 wins, 21 losses, 2 draws. Pretty good record. I'm pretty confident going into the list, but really I'm just excited to show off this deck. Looking to run a great cEDH event? Having hosted over 100 successful tournaments, Eminence Gaming has your back with Command Tower. With its intuitive tournament manager dashboard, you can handle everything from deck list submission to player management in just a few clicks. Then, all players need to do is scan a generated QR code to have access to your full tournament bracket. Put your players first with seamless pairing software and real-time access to standings. Take the guesswork out of tournaments. Give Command Tower a try for your next event. These I designed myself, did not make myself. These are NPC proxies, if you're familiar with that. I'll have a link in the description to how all that works. And these foil treatments are not something they offer. These are actually inner sleeves. These are made by Prismatic Defender. And yeah, you just slip your card into these. I think it does a pretty good job of looking like it's just the card, especially once you put it in the regular sleeve. Get them kind of snugly in there. Some people don't like it. They have a few different designs. It's a little bit much for some people. I personally really like it. I think they're nice and blingy. And like when they're stationary, they don't always even have a look of them being foily. I think they're cool. They'll never curl. Don't have to ever worry about that. If you would like access to these cards, there are going to be the files to use to make your own proxies. They're going to be on my Patreon. They will be free. I would appreciate if some of you, while you're over there, consider supporting me over there to, get access to early videos, some exclusive content, extra perks you can check out over there, like asking, questions be featured on the podcast, things like that. Future cards I'll add over there probably won't be in a big dump because this will just be like a thread at the top for free for everybody. Future cards will probably, or future proxies that make like English ones, those will probably just be on there for patrons to get access to whenever I feel like. Not at any consistent level, unless it's really popular. But those will just be on there for any patron to get access to just as I make them. Sometimes I'll go through like a month where I make a ton of them. Sometimes I don't make any for a while. And yeah, those will just be a nice little surprise on there for patrons sometimes. We'll briefly go through the lands because I don't think it's as exciting, but I do want to show them because I do think some of them are cool. Like a lot of the expedition lands, even though I don't like those frames. Like, oh, these fetch lands. I think the Ottawa specifically looks super sick. That watery grave art, oh, I love it. The lands were kind of the most work, the hybrid cards, because I had to make these. A lot of this stuff I was able to use like card conjurer assets for, but these hybrid frames I had to make in Photoshop and apply to the lands a little bit differently. But I think when I did the Rockside ones, I just did the multicolor frames, and they didn't look right because you're used to the land frame there. You don't think about it until it's not there, and then it looks a little weird. Here are all the duels together. Forbidden Orchard, probably the worst land in the list, but mana fixing is important. That new Cavern of Souls art. Ooh, it's so dope. Green Forest. And now the stuff we can actually talk about. Look at a pile of these. First off, the new Thoracle art. Thoracle is 2 for 2 on its artwork. I think both the arts are amazing. This one specifically I felt really fit. I tried to prioritize art that kind of fit the Y2K-ish / Japanese whatever aesthetic that I'm going for here. I think this one really nailed it. Toxic Deluge, Boromir, don't play Lavinia anymore. The amount of times that I've been killed because a player deployed to Lavinia and shut off my interaction to help, and we lost to a third player. You don't have to worry about that with Boromir. You just sacrifice it. Wishclaw Talisman. I really like how the colored artifact frame. Look down here. That Swords to Plowshares with the Wandering Emperor. Amazing. And not as big a fan of the Japanese demonic tutor. I kind of prefer the English one for the Strixhaven art, but I mean, it's hard to argue it doesn't fit better. Jeweled Lotus. Whew. That's got to be the snazziest Jeweled Lotus in existence. I really was happy. This is the Japanese enchantment cards coming out was a big push for me to want to get this thing done because it suits it so well. Mox Diamond. I think the blue cards especially look so good in this frame. That awesome. Path to Exile. Ooh. Born Upon a Wind. Red Blast. Granith. The Chrome Mox might be my favorite. Oh, it just fits. Everything about this just fits so well. New Grand Abolisher art. Swan Song, LED, of course. Rite of Flame. Kind of iffy on this card. Like, how much do we really need Rite of Flame and Blue Farm? Come on now. I don't know. Force Negate, the Forces. Oh man, they look so nice. The blue counterspells in general just look so freaking good. Final Fortune, Mnemonic Betrayal. One of the few hybrids in here. This is the new Soul Ring art that came from some Secret Lair thing. I don't remember. I just really liked it. There are a lot of Soul Rings you could go with. I just decided to go with the newest snazzy ones. Light Tutor. Demonic Consultation, our Petal, Op Agent, Flusterstorm fit the frame really well. That was the other priority of I wanted cards that fit the aesthetic, you know, like the Thoracle, fit the frame especially well, which I think a card oriented like this. I mean, you have to think about this frame is oriented a little differently than the regular one. You don't have a box to work with. You have like a kind of swoopy. Fits the shape really well here. And then of course, if it had high quality art, I kind of prioritized that. Our lovely Cabal Ritual. Ragavan, the best monkey. Dark Ritual. There are a lot of different ones that could have gone with this. This didn't have the highest quality art, but I'm just such a sucker for this kind of witchy vibe. New Brain Freeze. Fits perfectly. Dan Fraser Talismans. Chain of Vapor. Mana Vault again. Really fits the frame. Gamble. That Mystical Tutor also. Anything that can kind of fit the circular shape that things go for, I think really works out very well. New Mystic Grimoire art. Ooh, Body's the old one. This is a newer card. This is Dauntless Dismantler. I like it pretty good so far. You get this out early, it can be pretty, you know, pretty nice. And the ability to sack it and blow up artifacts has actually been pretty helpful too. Silence, Esper Sentinel. Another blue counterspell. Sheesh. This Phyrexian Metamorph art was like built to be put into this frame, I feel like. Dark Side, of course, most balanced card in the format. Arcane Signet. Reanimate. I have yet to cast this card in this freaking deck. Good players put it in. I trust them and I get what it's for. I've had situations where it would be good if it came up, or I get it and I just don't really need it because I already have so much stuff going for me. Casting this just doesn't really do me anything. I get that it's good. Still, in 50 games, have not cast it. Beautiful Mana Crypt. Look at that. Force of Will, though. Boom. The blue, the oranges. Look at that. Corvold. Mindbreak Trap. Please reprint it. Lovely Tainted Pack. Love that art. I wanted to be able to fit the whole thing. One thing I don't like about the printing of this card is that it is missing half the art. And you can... It's going to be hard to see in here. You can kind of see... The whole thing is like an as above, so below inspired artwork. And the bottom of the art is like... You know, the deal or whatever they're making kind of going wrong and the consequences of it. You have to look up the artwork for this card to really see it. The full artwork is really sick, but there's no card that showcases it. It almost seems like it was intended to be on like a saga or something with how long the art was. That snap art, gorgeous. Intuition, I wish I had new art because it is just not very high quality. Not usually a fan of the Kaladesh Inventions, but when you take them out of that goofy looking frame, sometimes they look pretty cool. Mox Amber. Actually been pretty good in this deck. I think Mox Amber could just be played more. Of course, Underworld Breach, the star of the show. And last but not least, the Hot Potato Bellwire Stone. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this deck list as it's played. I'm extremely happy with how it looks. This is the most gorgeous deck I think I've ever seen. One of the most unique Magic decks I think anyone owns. But yeah, I think these are amazing. Hopefully my video and my setup did them justice. But if you see me at CCS, I'll be rocking this deck, and feel free to come take a marvel at it and just say hi to me if you see me. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know down below if you'd like to see more stuff like this. Maybe I'll get Eric to record a showcase of his full actual Japanese foil Corvo list. I think he would really love to show that off, or any other, you know, sort of blingy things we could show off, stuff like this. Just let me know. All that being said, see you next time.